For my 21 years of geocaching anniversary, I wanted to throw together a little video showing what geocaching has been for me. These different kinds of containers are hidden around anywhere in the world, really. In the city, in the mountains. They can be easy to find, hard to find, big, small, anything. They have a logbook to sign, so when you find one, you sign your name and leave it for someone else to find. Sometimes they are more clever containers, like this little coffin that opens up like this. And the logbook's in there with that fake skeleton. Tupperware was probably the main popular thing. Then ammo cans. Then people started to get more creative over the last 22 years. I started 21 years ago. This is a little slideshow of some of the different cache containers I've found over the years. That little PB3 on the power box is just a magnet. You pull that off and right on the back of it. There she is, writing on the back. Lots of Tupperware in the woods. A lot of good times with friends out in the mountains, out in the desert, finding these, building memories together. Pill bottles are another popular one. People like to try to be first to find it, so you'll see people running after a new one. Often they'll take you to a spot with a cool view or interesting place to learn some history or something. This one's up at a benchmark, a survey marker up on top of a mountain. Another one at a benchmark. Overlooking Utah Lake here. This one's up at the G above Pleasant Grove. There's lots and lots of memories over the years. I just grabbed a handful of pictures, but this video could have been very long. Some of them get pretty creative. Gotta watch out for the wasps in the summer. They like to hide the same kind of places where people like to hide geocaches. I think this one was in Hawaii with my sister. Another creative cache container. Big hike above Spanish Fork. Thanks, Jay. Lots of time climbing trees. Getting sap all over you. Cool little train bridge. This was a cache up that cat's butt. This one was out in Colorado. This is up above Salt Lake at the furniture. Like I said, they can be tiny, they can be big, they can be anything really, as long as there's a logbook to sign. There are also a couple types of caches that don't have logbooks, but I'll go over the types here in just a few seconds. Let's do that. Different types of geocaches. This was a webcam cache. You had to get yourself on the camera for the webcam. This was a moving cache. You could hang it on trees, different places. People would go find wherever it was. Virtual caches, you just get a picture of yourself with a GPS usually. traditional cache is just a Tupperware or something that you go find and sign. Ammo container doesn't really matter on a traditional cache. Often they're in parking lots under the light pole skirts like this. Virtual caches are often getting answers off of the historic marker plaque. Earth caches are like virtual caches, but about geology. Another light pole skirt cache. This was a Cyto, cash in, trash out, cleaning up trash as an event. We'll go over events a little more later. First, I wanted to point out some of the interesting things, weird things that you do for geocaching. Climbing up on stuff, everybody's looking at you like you're crazy. Climbing up really tall trees. This was an adventure. My brother made some climbing spikes and had ropes and everything involved. Sometimes you go up a hill that seems doable and regret it. Climb up and get bloody hands trying to climb up in the snow. Climbed up that with my friend Jesse in the snow. That was not a great time. There's been probably 1,000 times I've done something and thought, why did I do that? That was ridiculous. This was on a hike up to Donut Falls. It was right below the falls here, but where the falls dump into the little cave. Of course, I went and stood in the water, about the coldest water I've ever felt. Well, plenty of time to goof off with friends, out geocaching. More ridiculous trees to climb. This was up on the Nebo Loop. Lots of water. Lots of times crossing rivers, ponds, lakes. Even carrying people to islands to get caches. This was up at Potter's Pond. Caching in the rain. Squeezing through cracks. This was called Fat Man's Misery. More tops of the trees. Lots and lots of trees over the years. And lots of water, as I mentioned. This was another island cache. So many good memories. This is where my car ended up almost falling into the creek with my friend Brian. Set up those boards to try to save it. Run into a lot of animals while out geocaching. Sometimes things you don't expect to see. Lots of hiking too. Big part of geocaching is hiking. Doesn't have to be. You can just do the ones in town if you'd like. But I've done a lot of hiking over the years. These are a few of the hiking photos. Mentioned event caches earlier. That's another type of cache. An event cache, you don't have to look for anything. You just gather with other people who like geocaching. Just socialize, sometimes eat, sometimes play games. Just get together and build friendships, build relationships. It's been a lot of fun. These are some photos from event caches over the years. Some of my very favorite people in the entire world I've met at geocaching events. It's been a ton of great memories. I've done them all over the place. All over Utah, all over the country really. There's always some really cool people to meet, really cool stories to hear about. Often you'll go out geocaching after the event and build memories. Get in trouble, have fun, just have adventures. And along the lines with events, but a little more personal. Just the people I've met geocaching. Some I met at events, some I met at geocaches when we both show up to look for the same ones. But I have met some incredible people, and this is a little slideshow of some of the many, many friends I've made over the last 21 years through geocaching. We've had a lot of adventures, a lot of good times, a lot of memories have been made. So thank you to everyone. It's been a huge part of my life, and I've absolutely loved it.